I see so many faces out here, so many different groups, organizations that have talked about this, have been stakeholders in this, that have built this, that have helped fund this, vision it. And so I think every time we get this dais out and we get a ribbon out, we talk about this being a community project, and I don't think that's disingenuous anytime we do it. But kind of reflecting on this process, my personal experience in this process, being involved in this well before I was in this job, is that this is a community project in every sense, and that this was dreamt up through community engagement and our private citizens and our stakeholders and our neighbors around here. It was a community project in how we visioned what it would be once it became that maybe it would be a reality. That what you see here and every engagement, every amenity, every historical marker, as you'll hear a little bit later, was part of this community. And then the construction and coming to life is now what we see today, which is a community asset for this generation and many generations to come. So this is a wonderful day, and thank you for everyone who's been a part of it. I will rattle off some names. I know there'll be some folks speaking that will mention others because just there were so many people involved in this beautiful park, and we're glad to have the entire thing now open and enjoyable for all of the public. So really quickly before I have some speakers come up, I want to mention some notable folks that were part of this process from way back when. I'd be remiss. When I started this in 2018, I was chief of staff for Quint Studer, who had asked, Scape had come down for a Civicon talk, and he was compelled by what Scape had to say, and as Quint would do, said, hey, I want to bring them in. DC, go figure out how to do that. And so that's what we did, and we ended up with, thanks to Mayor Robinson and being welcoming to this idea, is to have a waterfront activation plan for the city of Pensacola, and this becoming one of the products of that. But before all of that, I think it's important to point out, I don't know if I haven't seen them here, but if Dan Lindeman and Jerry Holsworth are here in the back, there's Jerry. There's a park that this probably wouldn't be a park without many people here, and Dan and Jerry are a huge part of that. So thank you for your advocacy, and we're all standing here today because of the efforts that you had to help preserve this place. So thank you. Of course, Scape, and you'll hear from them shortly, did a beautiful job, as did HDR Engineering. Alan Vinson was our project manager, Robbie Bryland, Philip Walker, Basketball Donovan, Larry Jacobs and Associates, the Irrigation Consultant Services, Biggs Construction. I saw, he's right in front of me here. Beautiful job in construction. Jace Graves, Mark Madison on his team. Center for Independent Living and Carolyn, I know was very, very involved in every part of this to make sure that it was as accessible for everybody as possible. Angela Kyle, the Tanyard Neighborhood Association, very involved in this from the start. Of course, the members of City Council, on council when this was approved all the way to today, have played a big role. And of course, again, Mayor Grover Robinson, this wouldn't be here without, it's one thing to have a plan, it's another to execute it. And Mayor Robinson deserves the credit for stepping up and getting this thing funded, and you'll hear from him in a second. Councilwoman Broughton, you'll hear from, who is a huge part of the stakeholder effort and making sure that the commemoration we have of the history here was as beautiful as it is. And then lastly, our city project management staff, Amy Tootle, Brad Highnote, I know our city engineer is up there, Victoria, and our entire CRA team for making this happen, Robert Slayton. And we just have had, again, I know we have dozens more people that have played some direct or indirect role in this project, and I'm just thankful to finally be here. I believe now 6 or 7 years in the making from the first conversation about this being possible. So I'm just an honor to be here. So with that, I will hand the microphone over to Chris Barnes from Scape. Thank you, guys.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. It's turned out to be a lovely day, a touch warm, right? But the wind feels good, sun's out. Yeah, I just wanted to say good afternoon. It's an honor to be here. My name is Chris Barnes. I'm a principal at Scape Landscape Architecture. And on behalf of the Scape team, we wanted to really thank you, Mayor Robinson and Mayor DC Reeves, for your leadership and the opportunity to contribute on this great, amazing project. A big thank you to Quint and Rishi Studer for catalyzing the early concepts for this Pensacola waterfront framework plan. And we're grateful to be a part of that team as well that helped bring this important public space back to life. So we all know this place has a rich history and legacy, and I'm going to share a little bit about that today, but I honestly invite all of you to kind of walk the main pedestrian path and really immerse yourself in the wayfinding. It has a really rich storytelling for the park as a great overlay for interpretive component for the park. But Bruce Beach carries a significant legacy in the city of Pensacola. The land you're on now has been transformed many times. Like much of downtown Pensacola, south of Main Street, it was once water, right? Over centuries, it's transformed from a thriving ecosystem, home to Native American societies, to the site of mills, to the busy dock of large naval vessels and fishermen. In the most recent history, it's been a key site for coastal recreation in Pensacola, with a rich history used by the city's diverse communities, particularly the Black community. During segregation, Pensacola, Bruce Beach was the city's only Black beach. It was a beloved recreational space. However, a steep drop-off close to the shore made swimming dangerous. As the civil rights movement grew in the 1950s, local Black leaders and community advocates finally succeeded in a decades-long effort to build a safer swimming facility on the site to serve Black Pensacolans. Open from 1957 to 1975, Bruce Pool was the place to be in summer. After its closure due to lack of funding and mounting repairing costs, the site sat empty for decades, only reopening recently in 2018. That was the year, in 2018, Scape created a framework plan for the downtown waterfront of Pensacola, which included design concepts for 2 catalytic pilot projects. Bruce Beach was one of those projects. We developed the concept design through robust community engagement and local partners. HDR led the park design through construction and construction administration. We are so honored to see this vision come to life and to be standing here together, united in this space and with the water. As a part of the park's redesign, Scape developed a series of 5 double-sided signs that explore the history of Bruce Beach. The interpretive signage details the site's marshy beginnings, its industrial history, its evolution as a recreational center, and its reopening today. The signs also explore its origin and lasting significance of Bruce Beach for the Black, Indigenous, and Creole communities of Pensacola. We collaborated with very generous stakeholders. We thank them now. Angela Kyle, who was helpful to convene and collaborate an advisory stakeholder group. Special thanks to the historians from the University of West Florida Historic Trust, Dr. Jamin Wells, Joe Vinson, Ross Prestera, our advisory group, Councilwoman Tayade Broughton, Michelle Lowe, Tony McCrae Jr., Robin Richard, Marilyn Wiggins, and Dr. Marilyn Maisel Davis as well. We thank you, and can we give a round of applause for that stakeholder group? So instrumental in helping the design team really understand this place, and I hope it's reflected in the design you see today. We hope as you walk through the park, you engage with the deep history of this place, feel connected to its expansive ecosystem of Pensacola Bay, and really just enjoy the water, right? This is one of the few places we can get to the water in Pensacola. And to close, I'd like to just read an excerpt from one of our signs at the entry point, actually. Many have been where you are today. Families once gathered to relax and swim. Scientists pioneered new ways to rebuild wetlands. Athletes competed before adoring crowds. Workers repaired enormous ships and cut lumber here. Generations of Native Americans fished and foraged in the nearby estuary. And before that, where you stand today was once underwater. Listen to the wind, and you might hear the hammers of the dry dock workers or cheers for the synchronized swimmers. Look at the wetlands and see the restoration of Pensacola Bay. Pass over Washerwoman's Creek to stand on the edge of colonial Pensacola. Go to the bay as generations of Native Americans have done, and as you do, add to the story of this place. Thank you so much.
All right, I want to bring up Mayor Robinson. My job used to be to call Mayor Robinson and see how this project's going, and then now I get to be the person that people call and ask how the projects are going. So, Mayor Robinson, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Mayor Reeves, thank you so much, and I love the fact that people are calling you. So that's keep taking those calls. No, let me say, what an awesome day for Pensacola. When you look out today, I walked over here from parking over there, just being from the Maritime Park over here. It's just amazing to see it. I walked over with Councilwoman Broughton, and I said it's hard to believe there's a hurricane going on in the middle of the Gulf right now. But what a great day to be here. This is a super day for Pensacola, just amazing. And I see my fellow former commissioners, I see Commissioner May, also Commissioner Kohler, so appreciate Escambia County being here. But apparently, I think DC did this. The city must have been in charge of the weather. We got it right today, so glad to see that. But this is an amazing place to be. Certainly, Scape, I can't say thank you enough for having the vision to see this behind all those layers, because what you've created now is an amazing space. And thank you to Biggs Construction for what you did to see that vision, to put it into practice here. And I told George, I said, did you plan like for the flora here to be blooming right in the middle? This is incredible. You couldn't ask for any better way for this to look. So I think this is what people say when you're in those rooms and you're looking at paper and you're talking about stuff. But this is what happens eventually one day. It all comes to fruition, and you see something like this. Again, I realize not everything about this park is something everybody wants, but I guarantee you there is something in this park for everybody from the city of Pensacola, and that's what makes this another great, amazing place that we have in this community, an incredible community that we all should be proud of. And I was very happy to pull out my shirt today and wear my city shirt with pride and say this is a great place to live and a great place to be, and it's because of people and places like this. So we have an amazing thing to be able to do every day. And while 80 degrees may seem hot to some people, I can assure you, if you were here a couple of weeks ago, this would feel very cool right now. But we're glad to have you down from New York, and this has been a great project. And I'm just so thankful to have the opportunity to be a part of it, and really appreciate the mayor for letting me say a few things about this. Did you want me to introduce Councilwoman?
I'll do it.
All right, come on back up here. And more importantly than anything else, I'm happy that you'll get the phone calls on that. Mine will simply be, this is a great project. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. I think there's a couple of those shirts in the closet in the mayor's office I've been using. I want to recognize, too, I know we have Councilwoman Jennifer Breyer here, of course, Councilwoman Broughton, who I'm about to bring up. We got lots of folks. I don't want to make sure I'm missing any other city council members. I don't think I am, but the first time I ever met Councilwoman Broughton in person was at a workshop for this project, and I think she was mad at me about something. But what's really cool about getting to experience that on the different side of the glass, not as a city official, but as a citizen, was how the community handled robust community engagement. Really set the best practice of what I believe it should always look like moving forward. So a lot of what you've seen with our citywide strategic plan, the CRA plan, the Hollis T. Williams Equitable Development Framework Plan, all of those things, lots of what we learned about making sure that every voice is heard was born from this project. So you'll see remnants of success of not just the tangible space here, but how we engage our community and what the expectation should be from the city of Pensacola of how we do it moving forward, was thanks to this project. And Councilwoman Broughton was a huge part of that. So Councilwoman Broughton, come on up.
Hello, everyone. So the first thing I want to say is we did it. But as we did it, we all had to step back, assess our own prejudices, preconceived notions about who each other was, and get the job done. And I thank you all for allowing me to be a representative while we got the job done. I know we went through some uncomfortable moments in our history and confronted them. And finally, we put up the historic markers to talk about those moments so that we could move on. We went through those moments so that we could step forward for the future. And I want to thank everyone for unpacking all of that and being comfortable enough to get uncomfortable. Because a lot of uncomfortable conversations came up as we were navigating this course of action, right? But what we did was realize we have to chart a course for a brighter future ahead of us. And today marks the beginning of that brighter future. So I want to thank you all for being a part of that, being a part of what we're trying to do for the city of Pensacola, coming together and representing all of us as one person. Thank you so much. So who am I bringing up? Oh, you're doing it? Okay.
I'm not a professional Segway person or anything. I just make it easy on y'all. Lastly, we want this park. It's beautiful today, and our amazing Parks and Rec team and CRA also involved in keeping it and preserving it beautifully in the future. And I want to bring up our Assistant Parks and Rec Director, Tanya Bird, to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everyone, for being here today to celebrate the grand opening of this amazing park. I've taken part in many of these over the course of my career, and I can truly say that Bruce Beach is one of the best representations I've seen of a community-driven project that not only enhances our amazing waterfront, but also brings together the past, present, and future of our city. Our connection to the water is perhaps the greatest single driver of Pensacola's progress throughout history. Parks make that sort of connection possible in a meaningful way, like no other infrastructure you can build. Parks and Recreation is proud to once again be the stewards of this property, and we intend to preserve it for generations to enjoy. Bruce Beach embodies the three pillars that align with the mission of the National Parks and Recreation Association, the organization that informs and drives the work of park professionals all across the country. It does so by fostering health and well-being, creating a hub that connects our citizens to the waterfront through activities such as walking, jogging, kayaking, learning about nature, and most importantly, play. Equity, which is creating social connections where all people have access to the benefits of quality parks and recreation facilities. They say difference meets on the playground, and I believe this park embodies that spirit. Also, environmental resilience. The reclamation of Bruce Beach as a recreation destination ushers in more opportunities for healthier parks and natural spaces to be preserved for current and future generations. From the many native trees that have been planted to reclaim our urban forest, to the native wetland vegetation, and the oolite stones that you see behind you, featuring layers of seashells, coral, and fossilized marine life. We celebrate our coastal resilience and the biodiversity that is being reestablished here at Bruce Beach. On behalf of Parks and Recreation Director Ben Heistein and myself, I would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to the project team. I know many of you are standing out here right now, our city leaders who had the forethought to bring this to fruition, and our citizens who had the vision to reclaim this area as part of their urban core, community redevelopment plan, and Pensacola waterfront framework plan. I'm honored to be here to celebrate the opening of Bruce Beach as we continue creating healthy, connected, and thriving Pensacola waterfront for many generations to come.
All right. I know I'm in politics, so you're thinking, did I ask this family with the dog to be on the paddleboard? I do not know them. I promise. I do not know them. They came to one of those meetings, or their family member did, or they had played an integral role in some way of making this happen. So,
He's going to go high.
so you're going to stand. All right. So we're going to come down here. So, and Zach will get nice and high. Make sure we can get everybody over here. So thank you guys so much for being here.